I think what Jamie Dimon did a disservice around when he did that interview with you, which I think was a great interview.
How do we set the rules of the road so that we protect our consumers?
Is a pretty good signal that we are near the bottom of a bear market.
From the Satoshi Side studio, welcome back to BimbleBit. I'm Damien.
I'm Andy.
And we're just two guys sitting around a table shooting the shit about Bitcoin. We're going to lock ourselves in at our blockchain height at 853,861. And that information comes from a very cool app called Time Chain Calendar. And you can download that app at timechaincalendar.com or the ISO Play Store. All that fun stuff. Coming up on today's show,
we have Senator Loomis says this is our last chance to pass the Clarity Act.
Yeah, and Hungary makes a major announcement regarding Bitcoin.
And Japan slashing crypto taxes.
And a Chinese court makes a very bold Bitcoin decision. All that and more coming up.
Well, that was great.
Well, it wasn't that bad.
It was kind of terrible.
That was horrible.
Yeah, absolutely awful.
Bitcoin, the biggest show in town.
So the odds of the Clarity Act market structure bill being signed into law this year have fallen to some 45%.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Senator Loomis says this is our last chance to pass the Clarity Act until at least 2030, and we can't afford to surrender America's financial future.
And she's not wrong. So
right? I mean,
they get it done.
It's between the banks. The banks are going to be the ones that say yay or nay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're seeing countries and entities all over the world that are starting to acquire Bitcoin. And if they're not acquiring Bitcoin, they're starting to lighten up legislation around it. And Hungary is going to officially decriminalize crypto trading. I didn't know that, but if you didn't do certain things a certain right way, you were going to prison. There was penalties for this.
Yes.
So the previous regime required approval from the government to have from crypto to fiat and fiat to crypto and crypto to crypto. And now all of that is just kind of lightened right up. So Hungary, way to go.
Well, again, it's another country adopting the situation, right? Absolutely.
What suits them?
Well, it does. It does for this time. And after a while, you start to get a little more confident in Bitcoin, obviously, right? And Japan, lower house passed a sweeping bill that reclassifies Bitcoin and crypto as financial instruments.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So capital gains tax slashed from 55 down to 20%.
That's awesome.
It really is.
Yes.
And it does open the door for spot ETFs in the world's fourth largest economy.
Yeah. It's
right?
mind-blowing.
It is. It totally is.
Neighbor to Japan, China, had a court case, and they recently... Crypto's funny in China right now, so they too are starting to come out of their shells. But a court has said that Bitcoin is like property. Just like gold, just like silver, it is deemed property now. So that qualifies as property, which can be stolen, and it is now going to be okay, despite the nationwide ban on crypto.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what I mean. It's a funny slippery slope there.
That's exactly right.
It's the start of something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do it again. Videos on the way.
All right, man, here we are. Satoshi's Hive, Lethbridge, Alberta. This is where the magic happens.
The hive's tiny, but it hums like a miner farm. I love it.
Right? We've got the wall lights, the mic, the on-air glow, and from this table, we beam it all out across the planet.
Straight out of the prairies to the world. And at the center of it, BimbleBit.com.
So ever since Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan went on and was talking about the Clarity Act, there's a lot of things coming out in the news. And one of those is Brad Garlinghouse. He just pretty much called out Jamie Dimon.
But at the end of the day, I think what Jamie Dimon did a disservice around when he did that interview with you, which I think was a great interview, is that he's representing that this reduces compliance concerns, or it actually makes it easier to do bad things. And that's just not true. It's either intentionally misrepresentation or even negligent to try to make support for the Clarity Act go away.
So an intentional misrepresentation, even neglect.
Jamie Dimon, we've talked about this on how many shows now? Jamie Dimon, he wants to be able to collect more interest like they can on the crypto exchanges, and right now the banks don't collect that kind of interest.
Yeah, well,
he wants a difference.
It sounds greedy.
I mean, even Senator Tim Scott talks about J.P. Morgan and Jamie Dimon as well.
Fact of the matter is that even JP Morgan is now getting involved in stablecoins. Why? Because digital assets is a part of the future of finance. So every single industry will want to be a part of that, including banks. So what we're talking about today is how do we set the rules of the road so that we protect our consumers. Job one is making sure that consumers are protected. Job two, making it less expensive to do business in America and easier to do it 24/7. Blockchain and digital assets allows us to get there faster. It's coming, period.
Setting the rules of the road that consumers are protected.
That's the big.
That's what he's saying. Is you can't give them that much of a return in the crypto exchanges, and I can only give them that much return in the banks, all because of just security for the client.
Yeah.
Well, let the client decide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony Pompliano from ProCap Financial says, this is one of the best bear markets. That sounds weird, but check it out.
Is a pretty good signal that we are near the bottom of a bear market. And so I think that a lot of the Bitcoiners are starting to say, okay, it's drawn down enough. I'm going to start accumulating now. Well, I think that there's a couple of things to pay attention to, right? First is there's timeline. And so peaking in October and drawing down now, that would line up with that 4-year cycle. But one of the things that we have seen is that this is one of the best bear markets. And usually you don't want to celebrate when an asset is going down. But what we have seen is that we are starting to hit a number of metrics that historically have actually signaled we're near the bottom of a bear market.
That to me is the silver lining, right? The 4-year cycle lives, he says we are par. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the 4-year cycle gone. And you even talked about it. There are still markers that are verbatim from
Absolutely. We have not deviated. Now, a lot of people say, because the macro comes in and, the big buyers and, who's controlling what. Nobody's controlling anything. Bitcoin controls itself.
Yeah.
And so, it's it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. So we were just talking before the SAT market is going to be happening in Calgary. This is a fun little event where you load up your Lightning wallet with sats and, you go spend and do some stuff.
It's a fun day. And it's like stepping into a new world. So Friday, June 26th from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Platform Innovation Center. If you haven't been there, it's a very cool place. It's kind of like a duplicate place where it's kind of like a car park, but it's also a convention space. Okay. Really cool. Right beside City Hall and the Central Library. And also don't forget my group YYC Calgary. They're having another meeting at the Derrick Gin Mill and Kitchen, 628th Ave Southwest. That's coming up June 23rd at 6 p.m. So a couple of really cool things if you're in the area. I encourage you to go and meet the folks. They're really cool people.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. If you got something going on in your crypto Bitcoin world, be sure to let us know so we can spread the joy and the news. BimbleBit.com. Right now, it is time for our Bitcoin event calendar.
Satoshi quotes.
Episode 11. The heat from your computer is not wasted if you need to heat your home. Satoshi Nakamoto.
Hey, thank you so much for the likes, follows, and subscribes. We love doing the show, and we love to be able to put one out every week for you. So please like, follow, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your mama. Tell the raccoons in the garbage can, and please don't be afraid to shoot us a sat or two if you feel so inclined. So SpaceX, there's a lot of stuff going on. SpaceX begins trading on the NASDAQ, which is cool. They have 18,000 Bitcoin, but here's the deal. They are now thinking that there's going to be a joining of SpaceX and Tesla, which would put the Bitcoin total of well over 30,000 and would make them a Bitcoin giant. So We're watching that.
Yeah.
But yeah, SpaceX is now on the NASDAQ. So.
Yeah. And we talked about, we dived into a little bit about capital rotation.
Right.
And I talked about how some capital might be coming out of Bitcoin and going into AI. Apparently, it may be coming from other places, not so much from Bitcoin, as I've delved into it a little bit more. But I'm sure there's a little bit going on.
Yeah.
And Standard Chartered banks say winter is over.
Yeah, it's like Game of Thrones.
Right. With Bitcoin drops below 60, marking crypto's low point. I agree with that. If
too.
you look back at the 4-year cycles, we are still in balance. And so whether you want to believe it or not, we are still in balance with the 4-year cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Last Wednesday was we talked about El Salvador buying, right? We did a show on Monday, and then Wednesday, 2 days later, was their 5th anniversary of Bitcoin becoming legal tender, the first country to do it, and that was the all-wonderful El Salvador. So congratulations to you guys. You're just making waves and setting trends. We love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
7,474 Bitcoin.
Awesome.
In 5 years.
Yeah, good for them.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Hey, good for them. And hey, what about this? Bitcoin has outperformed every crypto since 2020.
Let's look at this chart now. Look
I know.
at all of those little faint lines going through, and the bright yellow one is Bitcoin. I mean, it is just, I love this graph.
Well, it's always been about 50% of the crypto market anyway, right?
Yeah.
Bitcoin 50% and Ethereum and down 50%. So, you can see how that goes on. Yeah.
Yeah, no second best.
Yeah.
Right. And last week we told you about the house that was bought with Bitcoin. Well, here's the story.
Business contributor Katrina Campins recently closed on a Boca Raton home for a buyer using Bitcoin. The price tag, David, $4.2 million. And while vetting the funds was the hardest part, the sale closed in just, get this, 23 days, faster than some traditional deals.
You found that, so thank you for that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, eh?
Yeah.
Kind of fun?
We did see Sailor bought some more.
He did. I think he bought another 1,556 Bitcoin today.
He's addicted.
Typical Monday Bitcoin thing. Did he sell any today? No. No 32 Bitcoin. No.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I think that's a wrap. I'm Damien.
I'm Andy.
Just two guys sitting around a table shooting the shit about Bitcoin right here on BimbleBit.com.
Cheers, mates.